At around $650 or £500 cheaper than its competitors in a similar spec, the Alphard Club Booster V2 seems like a bit of a bargain. However, what good is saving all that money if it's actually not any good? At a price of around $1,150 in the US or £650 in the UK for the combination of the V2 Club Booster and the Omni Trolley, that's still quite a lot of money to spend on a non-essential golf accessory from a brand that you've probably never heard of. So in this video, I'm going to tell you what it's like to use, who should buy it, and perhaps who shouldn't. Next hole's this way. The original concept from Alphard for the Club Booster is a pretty simple one. Save money by converting your existing push trolley into a remote controlled electric one. Alphard have a list of compatible push trolleys on their website, and if you're lucky enough to already own one of those, all you have to do is buy the V2 unit in isolation, take the wheels off of your existing push trolley, connect the new V2 Club Booster with the brackets that are supplied, and you're good to go. You've now got a remote electric trolley at a fraction of the cost. Well, I say you're good to go, I'm being a little bit flippant. If you're not overly confident with your DIY skills, it might be a little bit tricky, but I managed it in about 30 minutes or so. Now, if you don't have a compatible trolley, then you can actually buy a bundle package, which is the one that I've got here, where you get the V2 booster plus the push trolley, which doesn't actually come with any rear wheels with it, and that's for around £650 in the UK or $1,150 US, although you can quite often find pretty significant discounts, so you can get it even cheaper than that. I'll include any links down in the description below. Nice strike, just a little bit left. Now, the Club Booster is incredible value, but it won't be for everyone. It is missing some features that its more premium competitors do have, and some golfers just won't want to go without those features. But trust me when I say, for many golfers, including myself, playing golf with a remote control electric trolley is one of the best, most relaxing ways to play golf. It allows you more time to be present and focus on your actual golf game or your friends or your surroundings. And not having to push the trolley and having your arms free instead is, well, it's just more freeing. Now, Alphard has made it as simple as they possibly can, really, to control the electric trolley, but I appreciate it won't necessarily be for every single golfer. Some just won't necessarily like having to think about controlling where the trolley goes with their hand like a computer game. For me, personally, I think it's really easy. I took to it straight away. If I come closer, you can see here you've got a simple kind of grid system there. So you've got forward, stop, backwards, and you can spin it around left and right. We've also got a few extra buttons on this remote as well, so you can choose to move it forward just 15 or 30 yards. You can lock the gyro on and off, and you can even lock the remote as well. Now, I find that I have to actually lock this remote when I put it in my pocket, because I often have other stuff in my pockets and I can quite easily knock it. And on more than one occasion, I've suddenly seen the trolley tootling away from me on the green because I've accidentally turned it on or pressed the button. If the trolley does accidentally run away from you, then there is a safety feature built into it that once it senses that it's too far away from the remote, it will automatically shut down. I think I had this at around 50 yards when I tested it with a laser rangefinder, so it's good to have that peace of mind in the background, but it could still crash into something a little bit closer than that. But while we're talking about the remote, why am I trying to play a shot while I'm talking to the camera? I'm not that good. The remote, however, isn't perfect. It's the first place that you really start to notice some of the budget design constraints with the Alphard. The ergonomics of the remote aren't that nice. Bearing in mind that you're going to be holding this for your entire round, controlling the trolley, it would have been nice if it was, you know, slightly better sculpted to your hand, had some softer edges. It's not painful to hold or anything like that, but it could certainly be more comfortable. Something I also find quite annoying is the little cover for the USB or micro USB charging port there. Just comes out constantly and then is just annoying my fingers when I'm holding it in my hand. Another minor annoyance as well is that I have no way of knowing how much battery is left on the remote itself. The trolley has an indicator with 5 little lights on the bottom of it, which again is not ideal, but at least it's something. With the remote, there's nothing. Now, you can pair via Bluetooth your phone to the trolley as well, so you can control it that way if your remote does run out of battery, or you can put it on manual free wheel mode as well, which is nice and easy to push around. But it's just a few little minor things with the remote where you start to notice with a more expensive unit, you're going to get a slightly nicer feeling remote. If you are finding this video helpful, please make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks. Now, when it comes to the actual motor unit and using it as an electric remote trolley, it's been an absolute joy. I really love using a remote control trolley out on the course, the way that you're able to kind of guide your trolley around the green, grab your putter, set it off towards the next tee, and you are getting an incredible amount of spec for this budget option when it comes to having a remote trolley. In terms of speed setting, you have 5 different modes, so you can set it nice and slow to stroll beside you, or you can whiz it off or get it to catch you up on a faster setting. A really nice feature that this trolley has that other electric trolleys don't necessarily have, not a standard anyway, is that it has downhill control. So that means when you're going down a slope, and I've tested it on some pretty severe slopes, it will maintain its speed all the way down. It's not going to run away from you. I did a comparison against one of my friend's electric trolleys which doesn't have downhill control, and you can really see the difference and the benefit that that's going to have for you. The unit has an internal gyroscope, which means it will do its best to keep going straight even when the ground isn't level, and I found that feature to work pretty well on the course as well. And you can see down the bottom here you've also got 2 stabilizing wheels. Now they're nice and easy to pull off if you don't necessarily want to use the trolley, because they do make a fair old rattle when the trolley's moving along, but they will save you if you're trying to maneuver the trolley up a steep hill and then turn on its side as well. I really tried my hardest to tip this trolley over on the edge of a tee box, and you can see here I didn't have any success. The trolley stood up to that test incredibly well. If you're going to buy the Omni Trolley, then again, it's pretty standard in terms of trolleys. You've got a place here for your scorecard, you've got little bits for your tees, you've got a small drinks holder that's not necessarily going to take the big drinks that you can get out in the United States, and it did come with an umbrella holder as well. You don't have to pay extra for that. Now, a key thing with the trolley is that it has got the rotating front wheel. Of course, all wheels rotate, what a silly thing to say, but you know what I mean, it swivels. Now you can lock that front wheel with a little handle down here at the front. Now I've only really locked that front wheel when I'm storing the trolley. I have tried the trolley with that front wheel locked, and although Alphard say that you can use any trolley, well, any compatible trolley, even if it has a locked front wheel, I found that it was a little bit more unwilling to cooperate when wanting to turn on the spot. Really, you shouldn't really turn it on the spot at all. You should set the trolley in motion and then start turning it, which massively increases its turning radius. When I then run it through some heavier, thicker rough with that front wheel locked, it really didn't like it. With the front wheel unlocked, you can see here, it turns on a sixpence. That is so convenient and easy to use. My cart bag sits nicely on the trolley. It's got some elastic straps at the top and the bottom. Hooks on nice and easy. But you've probably noticed the trolley does have quite an industrial look to it. There's quite a lot of kind of, you know, exposed bits of frame and things like that. That's not necessarily a problem, but is an indication of perhaps where some of this money is being saved. With the more expensive looking units, well, they look more expensive. It's as simple as that. They've got carbon fibre pieces or plastic parts covering the bodywork. Does that affect the performance of the trolley? Not really, but some golfers might not necessarily like the aesthetic of this one. If I pause it there and come around to the rear of it, you can see it has got quite a wide kind of rear on it, especially if you compare it to other electric trolleys. In terms of storage, it is quite nice that those wheels do then slide in and fold in on themselves, so it doesn't take up that much room in the boot of your car. And the same goes for a few other elements as well. So with the battery, it actually has a metal screw over the charging port. Again, that's not an issue. That's there to protect it from the elements and water and things like that getting in it. It can be a little bit fiddly to unscrew it and screw it. It's not the end of the world. But again, that's another area where you're probably saving a little bit of money compared to a proprietary charging technology like you would get on a Motor Caddy or a Stewart Golf or a Power Caddy. The battery itself has been pretty good for me actually. I fully charged it and used it on 18 holes, and it's just kind of gone over that 50% mark, somewhere around there. I say somewhere around there because the actual way that you see how much battery you've got left is via the 5 lights on the battery unit. So when one of those lights turns itself off, you never really know actually, have I got 60% battery life left or 41% battery. Personally, I don't think I would be able to trust it to actually last 36 holes. That's not a problem. I always charge my battery anyway. But for those of you that really want a battery that's going to last 36 holes, I don't think I'll be able to guarantee it. One element that I do really like about the battery is that it has a little pull tab on the side, so it really easily comes out. So you can choose to leave the battery in and charge the unit, or you can just take the battery itself out and charge that indoors while you store your trolley in the shed, in the garage, wherever. While we're talking about storage, that's another one of those key elements where I think some golfers would be willing to spend more money on a more premium remote control trolley compared to the Alphard. What I mean by that is that effectively it's 4 separate pieces that all then connect and join together. So when you're setting it up, you have to unfold the trolley unit, and then you have to put the clamps on the motor unit, clamp them down, fold the hooks underneath, and then you actually clip in the stabilizing wheels at the rear if you want that. Now, I don't think there's going to be many golfers who are going to have enough room so they never have to collapse the trolley, and it means that you can't collapse it just in one go. You always have to take the frame off, and then you're always at least going to have the frame and the wheels as 2 separate things. A lot of the more premium trolley units pride themselves on how easy they are to kind of collapse and fold and just be nice and compact and easy to move around in one go. And I think that is going to be one of the key areas where people might decide, actually, that ease of storage and folding down and portability is perhaps worth the extra $500, $600, $700. If you do like to make the most of your money, then make sure you sign up to my free monthly Golf Deals newsletter, where I share the best golf deals that I find online. I've included the details how to sign up to that newsletter down in the description below. One other thing in terms of the battery, Alphard say that it is good for 500 power cycles. So using it 500 times and then charging it and using it again. I don't know whether 500 is a good number, a bad number. The other manufacturers don't really share that information. It sounds like a lot. It'd take me quite a while to get through 500 rounds, and I assume that the battery is still going to more than perform after 500 rounds, but I haven't really got any way to test that out, I'm afraid. Overall, I've been pretty impressed. Actually, no, that's not fair. I've been very impressed with the overall value for money proposition of the Alphard Club Booster V2. If you're looking for a remote control electric trolley on a budget, then I think this is probably the best option currently on the market, and I haven't had any real problems using it. It's been an absolute joy. If you are thinking about buying the unit yourself, then I'll include any affiliate links down in the description below, where hopefully you'll be able to pick it up for less than retail price. And if you're wondering what a more expensive premium model can get you, then why not check out my full review of the Stuart Q Follow trolley, which I've included a link to right here.